How's everybody doing tonight or today, whatever you're watching this, to be honest, because technically I don't have any viewers yet, but you know what? I am feeling fantastic. I don't have a full schedule for my week yet. Like this weekend, it's really busy. So they're gonna be getting the Magnum sold on Saturday. Going to Calgary and then High River on Sunday. And then, yeah. Hey, Kevin. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. So there's that. I mean, obviously, you know what? Yesterday I filmed and put out that video of the review of the Avalanche, which is not doing that well. I'm not overly surprised because it doesn't cater to a lot of my channel. Modern vehicles, you can look up my car reviews. It's the classics that do extremely well. And anytime I do a video on a modern car, it goes down the toilet. Like, I did a quick walk around of an R34 GTR Skyline. That video has less than 100 views on it. It's like, it's amazing. All things considered. But, you know, it's okay though. Yeah, nice to see that Kevin's in the chat, as always, man. How you doing, dude? You know? I'm just gonna hang out here, and I got some Godsmack going on the tunes. Woo. Yeah, no, and it should, it'll be a fun weekend, to be honest. I'll get a little bit of money in my pocket, and then I'll just have fun. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, to be honest, so I didn't realize that those actually existed, to be honest. But, looking into it, I don't know how it works. Because, like, okay, it's not going to have the sound through the speakers of your stereo, unless if you were using like something else, you know? You are in home. Yeah. It's 11:30 at night. Where else would I be? I mean, as I say that, and you know, like I typically, for these movie shoots, I'm not getting home till like, you know, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, but this is what it is. Like, and I gotta make sure that I leave early enough on Sunday to get to Calgary, just in case the roads are any bad. No, it's just a CD player. Like, you can see in the video of, you know, like, there's no hidden cassette or anything like that, you know? Well, I don't know. Can you have a shout out? You know, like, what do you do? Am I married? Does it look like I'm married? Psycho. I get psycho. I wanna. Like, you're asking for a shout out, but I don't know what you do. I don't know what your channel's about. And to be honest, I typically only shout out the people that I like meet and know. And admittedly, if you look at all the channels I shout out, I have met them. I've either sold them a vehicle, I'm either friends with them, or let's say, you know, like something like that. You know? And how long have I been working out for? You mean like this specific workout? Or working out in general? I wanna get psycho. Later in the fight, is that enough? To get psycho. This live? Well, I've been live for almost 6 minutes, and that's when I started my workout. So, I'm only gonna go maybe 15 or 20 minutes though, on this rowing machine. Give You're saying LOL. Why are you saying LOL? Exactly. Why? Because you could do a better, bigger, harder workout? Congratulations! You're probably in better shape than me. Like, I don't understand when people say that like that. Hey, Ryan. How goes it? See, now, and that's the thing. Like, I like that, like, the idea of that is kind of interesting, but I don't know how well that would work or anything like that. To be honest, if my dad wanted to do, it wouldn't exactly be perfect Bluetooth. I mean, it would be, but it wouldn't be. He can just get like an FM transmitter and use that. I've got 2 cigarette lighters, so it's fine. For robbing power out of one or whatever. It's probably Twisted Metal 2. Oh god, I haven't played that game since I was like freaking, I don't know, 10, 11 years old maybe? That game kicks ass. I played Twisted Metal 2 and Twisted Metal Black so much. I have so many memories playing those games. They're just incredible. Oh no, you're not. I'm super confused with what Bobby's trying to say here. Like, because he initially asked me like how long I have been working out in the live here, and I told him at the time it was only about like 6 minutes because, well, that's a lot I've been live for. And then he goes LOL to that, and then now I'm confused. Then he said like figure of speech. I don't know how LOL is a figure of speech, but okay. But then yeah. I mean, that's fair. The thing is, my dad doesn't care if it has any of that. He really only wanted to make phone calls in the vehicle, that's it. Oh, got some Linkin Park, here we go. It's not a super hype song, but Linkin Park, okay. Oh! Wow. I mean, I was a PlayStation gal growing up, so, you know, we had the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4. But the PS1, we didn't get that when it came out. It took a couple of years. PS2, I think we got that when it came out. Although initially, and I can say, I'm old enough that I can say this. We rented our first PS2 from Blockbuster. Most people don't even know, unless they're like my age, that you can actually rent consoles from Blockbuster. And yeah, it was freaking awesome. You know, we ended up liking the console. So my parents, that, I believe it was that Christmas, or maybe the next Christmas, they bought me and my brother a fat PS2. And then we got a slim PS2, and it was great. We were really hard on controllers though, so my parents ended up saying screw it to the official branded controllers, and we're just getting us some Mad Catz controllers and stuff like that. Now, and Bobby, why are you like typing caps lock all the time, man? It seems like you're like yelling, just like, PS2, I played so calm! You know, like. Super NES. Are you getting better? Nice. I got to play the Sega CD. I got a Genesis Model 2 recently. Cool. I can't review that message. Whoever sent that. That is being held for review. Because I am not stopping my workout here. Not until I at least get the 50 minutes. And the sun will set for you. I remove body hair with a razor? I don't wax, I don't do anything like that. That's a bit of a weird fucking question, but okay. And the shadow of the day, so embrace the world in blue, and the sun will set for you. No, that's not work. What do you mean? Simple disposable razor. You can shave your entire body with it. You know? Just believe me. I do. Sharp after? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm so confused. Yes, you can get cuts with a razor. Oh well. I've got scars all over. You think I give a shit if I give myself a simple little cut from a razor? Hell no. It kind of sucks when I'm like shaving, you know, like my mustache with, and I got cut there. Like that's the worst place to do it, but that's okay. Woo! Come on. 12 and a half minutes. Let's keep going, man. Let's do this. Woo. Or whatever help. I appreciate that. I mean, I'll let you know if I do or not. Oh, okay. I just need. Oh. How many do you do 1,000? What the hell are you talking about? I'm confused as fuck at what Bob is trying to say again. How many do I do 1,000? Like, I do it by time. If you're wondering how many reps I do like this on the running machine, do it by time. I'm only going for 15 minutes, but I might try and go for a little longer than that. Because I'm going to try and almost exhaust myself here. Like, not too majorly, but what I'm doing, yeah, again, time-wise. I go for 15 minutes, sometimes a little longer than that, but I try and average about 15 minutes on this thing. It's a rowing machine. Like, it's a full body workout. You know? Like, you feel it everywhere. And it's good cardio, too. Okay. I couldn't quite go 15 minutes, but it's okay. I got close. You know, I got really close. Alright, well, I appreciate you being a fan of my videos and stuff. Thanks, Buff. How's it going, dude? I do quite a few of these lives now. But yeah, yes, there is. Whew. Okay. You started watching as the Fox Body Mustang? Oh, cool. Well, hey, luckily for you, I screw around with Fox bodies quite often, you know? I am usually doing something with them. And, I mean, I have the two right now, so... But that's the one thing. Like, I have an opportunity to buy an extremely rare Fox body when the snow melts. I just gotta see what they actually want for it, if it's like in my realm to buy or not. Because, not gonna lie, if it comes to it, and that thing is available, and for a price that I can afford, you bet your ass I'm going to go get it. Because I was live on TikTok like a few weeks ago, and I had this guy pop into my chat, and he's talking about like an SAAC Mustang he's got. I'm like, okay. I wasn't quite sure at the time what the SAAC Mustangs were, but supposedly they made only 65 of them total. Of those 65, they made 3 notchbacks. This is a 1991 notchback, or it might be 92, because it did make it from 91 to 92. And it's just sitting in a field, rotting away. It's covered in like moss and all this other shit. So, so that'd be like the next project, to be honest, that I'd do. Those things have full Koni suspension on them. They are T5 manual. They've got the GT40 heads. They make almost 300 horsepower. And they would just go like a bat out of hell. And that's, you know, like a car like that would be a fun little toy. But then, that would mean I'd have to get rid of Hail Mary. But I'm okay with getting rid of Hail Mary, you know? I just got another one. This time, Mercury Zephyr Z7. Oh, cool. And Z7, is that... I was gonna say, that's the two-door version, right? That's pretty cool. Setting it failed to make no horsepower. Well, of course. I mean, who knows? Maybe the motor needs a rebuild or something like that. But if the motor needs a rebuild, well, hell, I can go find another 302, put it in there, take the heads off that motor, put it on there, and then get that motor rebuilt and drop it back in the car for a numbers matching car. Because that car, numbers matching matters. Most vehicles, I don't care numbers matching. Something that rare, though, definitely. Hi, Rules. How goes it? Whew. Hi, Rascal. Hey, Rascal. Rascal. Hi, buddy. What you doing? What you doing? Oh yeah, like, numbers matching does matter on vehicles like that. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm not as familiar about all, like, the subgenres or, like, the submodels of the Zephyr or the Fairmont, to be honest, but that's cool. You know? That's really cool. Whew. Jeez. These workouts, like, severely wear me out. It's worth it, though, but I just wish I was in better shape so that I could utilize these workouts better and, like, go longer on them and stuff, but, like, my goal is, by, like, summer of next year, I'd love to be able to go on this for, like, 40 minutes a day. That'd be cool. Right now, I'm only at 15 minutes, so long ways to go, right? Oh, damn. You got a numbers matching 69 SS Chevy Chevelle. Whew. That's cool, actually. And yeah, and over 100 grand? Yeah, especially like if that was a big block, that makes sense for the money. And like those 68, 69 Chevelles are my favorite. You know, most people say, well, what about a 1970? What about a 1970? They're cool, but give me a 68 or 69 any day of the week. Better yet, give me a Beaumont over a Chevelle. You know, Canadian only, Pontiac styling, pretty cool. Whew. See, now this fan isn't really doing too much yet, but 396 SS red with black stripes. Ooh, cool. Cool. I can picture it in my head exactly how that looked. That's badass, man. I love it. You know? And, like, it's interesting because those Chevelles don't get the love as much. The 67s and the 70s get all the love. 68 and 69, for some reason, just don't. I don't get it. Like, in my opinion, like, they're a classier looking car and they're just cooler, right? No one to tell us who to be. We'll keep turning up the radio. And I put up a middle finger to the sky. Let them know that we're still rock and roll. That's fair. See, admittedly, could I tell you what the dashboards of them look like between the years? No. I can roughly think of what actually, like, those dashboards roughly look like, though. You know? But, yeah, I just overall like the external styling. I just love the 68s and 69s the most. Whew, there we go. Damn near down that whole bottle in that big gulp. You know, because you had a 68. Oh, man, oh, cool. Now, you said you had. What happened to it? Why don't you have it no more? I thought the 455 wasn't available in the Cutlass until 1970, I thought, because didn't GM have the rule where you couldn't go over 400 cubic inches? And the reason why they had that mandate was because they were facing a major issue of becoming a monopoly. I don't know why I did that. That was so dumb. Everyone play nice? So far. Yeah. I've had some weird comments, but nothing too bad yet. Cars come and go. Okay, game all. Fair. I mean, there's a couple that I wish I didn't sell. Like, I wish I'd never got rid of my 86 Mustang convertible. I wish I never got rid of my Vandera conversion van. I, like, you know, those are the two that I wish I never sold. That and also like the Civic to a certain degree. I would have loved to be able to keep that, but that car was going to be a nightmare for parts, so that's the reason why we got rid of it. Oh yeah, I know. Hey, of course, man. No, I get that. Yeah, like, and there's vehicles like I wish I would have been able to buy, but, you know, just didn't have the chance. Or like, you know, the trajectory of my channel could have been so much different. You know, the trajectory of my channel could have started when I was about 13 years old, and I could have went and actually did. My brain will work here. Like, I could have went and got a 1970 two-door Maverick for free. I needed an engine, which I didn't realize that at the time. Well, two things. One, I didn't realize that my uncle lived in Alex, and I didn't realize that he had a 351 just lying around. You know? And so my first car could have been a 351 Windsor in a 1970 Maverick when I was 13 years old. But, like I said, I didn't know this information at the time, and unfortunately, it didn't happen. But the trajectory of my channel would have been way different, you know? I would have been playing with V8s as opposed to inline 6s, and I wouldn't have the fan base that I have now. So... like, my hair is always greasy? Well, considering I just did a fucking workout, I also have naturally oily hair, so there's that, too. And usually, when I'm doing a video, guess what? I had just been working or doing something like that, working on the cars or whatever. Like, come on. Like, I'm literally, like you can see, rowing machine. I'm literally sitting on it right now. I did a 15-minute workout on this thing and got very sweaty too, so it doesn't help. Oh yeah, exactly, it does, right? You own a 96 Civic hatch making 619 horsepower? What's your setup on that? Like UK 20, K24? Are you still front-wheel drive? Have you done an all-wheel drive conversion? What's your full setup, man? Alright, let's see. Can I get up? Can I get up? Oh. Oh. Whew. That screws my head. Oh. Whew. Yep. You have a B series making 600 horsepower? How the hell did you get a B series to make 600 horsepower? Well, video game cars don't count. You know? That doesn't count. But, and you got a B series front-wheel drive. Well, like I said, what's your setup? Because I haven't really heard of a B series making 600 plus horsepower. You know, like, that's... Most B series cap out at, like, 400. So that's why I'm like... Yeah, the sound's kind of weird, you know? Exactly, right? Like, here's the thing. If you said K20 or K24, I could see that, you know, engine rebuild. Okay, again, I'm asking you, what are the specs of your build? You know, what turbo are you using? How much boost is it making? You know, what have you done to it? Again, I'm asking you pertinent questions, and you're dodging the questions entirely. Like, you know, about this, because, like, a B series, like I said, I've only heard them making 4 to, like, 500 horsepower. You don't need specs? I do, because here's the thing. Hi, I work for, a dyno company, so I am really curious, actually, of what your setup is. Because I can tell you, for the most part, with certain setups, how much power they should make. You know? And there's no such thing as a 1,000 horsepower stock Supra. Try again. Hey, it's fast in the video game, but it's not real. That's why. Because believe me, yes, I've had 1,000 horsepower cars in video games, sure. You know, we all have. Oh, my cars are slow. I'm not even gonna take that bet at all.
I'm asking you what your setup is, and you said this weekend, what's up? I live in fucking Alberta where there's snow on the ground. There's no racetrack that's open. All it is a street with snow and ice. And actually, in a race like that, I might actually win. Because you're just going to slide, like, spin out, and I'll just go right past you, because I got nice winter tires. Here's the thing. Again, like, even somebody else in the chat questioned what your car makes for power, because B series are not known for making 600 horsepower. You know, they're just not. Stay mad? I'm not mad at all. Like, if you think I'm mad, you are not, you know, you don't really know me at all, clearly. Yeah, see, like, and exactly what Kevin said, right? Like, I see people running like 400 horsepower range typically in a B series, or even like 300 horsepower, usually. So when somebody claims to make a lot more than what you see for like the average or even the total cap of what you normally see, you question it. Like I said, well, you're not actually telling the specs of your engine build at all to us, so we're going to question it. When somebody comes in here with like a big claim on what kind of power their vehicle makes, I always ask what the specs are. You know, what engine do they have? How much boost are they making? You know, are they running nitrous? Anything like that. It's just genuine curiosity, but you're too scared to actually tell us your build and that sort of thing. So, you know, like you mentioned, it's a E. That'd be a 96, I think you said, which is like an EG, or I think it's still EG because EK was 98, I think. Yeah. 600 is a big claim in a fucking Honda. Yeah, it is. Even 600 horsepower is actually a lot of horsepower. Like, if you don't think so, then you're a fucking moron. Because here's the thing. 600 horsepower? Yes, we have vehicles on the road that you can buy right now that have 600 horsepower. Absolutely. But how many people can actually control 600 horsepower? Not many. You know? I'd really race and not talk? Well, then why are you in my live stream then? Like, this is about garage talk and shit like that. Like, come on, dude. If you're gonna talk smack, at least back it up. Doesn't shock me, honestly. Like, it's one of these things, you know, whenever you see these people that talk this much smack, but they won't actually tell you the specs of their build, you always question 100% the validity of it. Especially when they don't even have a proper profile picture or anything like that. And my buddy has nearly twice as much horsepower in his Civic, and what motor is he running? He's probably a K24 that's fully built. Or a combination of like a K20 with a K24. That's my guess, if that's going to be a Honda. Because that's the only thing that'll touch anywhere near that kind of power. Yeah, you said let's race, and I told you, I have slow cars. I have 2 inline 6 Fox bodies. They're not fast. Well, like, and also, like, and 600 horsepower in a Honda with this front-wheel drive, you know all that's going to do? For, like, about 1/8 mile of the track? Don't get me wrong, when it finally hooks, it's going to fucking hook. For sure. But, yeah. But you came up with an excuse? No, I didn't. You wanted to race for pink slips, and I said I'm not doing that. I don't race for money because I have slow cars. Like, come on, guys. Like, give me a break, dude. Like, again, I have an 81 Mustang that made 100 wheel horsepower and 220 torque. I'm sorry. Your Civic will smoke that, no problem. I do 0 to 60 in like 13.5 seconds. Again, not fast. Oh, he's not annoying me. I find this kind of entertaining, actually. That, because people, all they do is, like, talk smack, right, and stuff like that. You know how to prep your tires? Yeah. Okay. But you know as well as I do, a front-wheel drive, it is fighting itself so hard, on a couple of accounts. One is also, like, torque steer as well, unless you happen to have modified it to where it has, even axles, both sides, so that it doesn't torque steer anymore. Because whatever has the shortest axle on it, guess what? Majority of the power is going to that wheel, so it's going to pull that way, right? So there's that to combat with front-wheel drives. But then also, when you let off the line, so say this is your vehicle, right? And when you let off the line, well, what happens? You pin it, and the front end goes like this. So the weight goes to the back tires. So naturally, there isn't quite as much weight on the front tires anymore, and that's why they spin. It's basic science, right? Well, okay, Buff, here's the thing. With that, so it really depends on what you want to do. Do you want, like, how much power do you want to make in the end? And also, do you want fuel economy? Because, yeah. Oh, Ryan, yeah. Like, your probe makes, like, what, 160-ish horsepower? And it weighs less than my car? It should win a race. No, that's rear, that's why they pop up. You can't beat the laws of physics, my guy. Like, again, you're trying to say that's only in rear-wheel drive cars? That's every fucking car when they launch off the line. Like, okay, if you're gonna keep spamming one-word answers like this in the chat, sit here, I will mute you in my chat. Is your grocery getter in a little fun? Well, in that case, okay, this is what I would suggest you do. Is that one I'm assuming it's an automatic and not a manual? It is auto. So, okay. This is what I'd recommend if you want just, like, okay, decent fuel economy, but still be a little bit fun on the road and stuff like that. Swap out your rear gears, because you probably have either a 6 3/4 with 273s or a 7.5 with 273s with, like, something with, like, a 355 or, like, a 327 rear gear ratio. That'll actually increase performance by quite a bit, your acceleration. You'd be surprised how much that does. Throwing a header on there will add you somewhere around 15 to 20 horsepower because of how restrictive the stock exhaust manifolds are in those things. It's insane. So you could do that. I did a 2-barrel carb conversion just with an adapter. It doesn't necessarily add power, but it does add drivability. And it did actually increase my acceleration a bit. You know, and the goal with these inline sixes is acceleration more than top end. Because, well, they make peak torque at 1500 RPM. They act kind of like a diesel that way. And then they make peak horsepower at 3200 RPM, right? Front-wheel drives do not have more traction. That is false. Like, people think that front-wheel drives have more, but that's not true at all. Because here's the thing. Like, hang on. Let me go grab a model car and demonstrate this. Actually, here we go. Right here. So, this is actually a front-wheel drive. Right here. This is a perfect representation. So, this is a Honda Civic. Granted, it's a first gen. But, hear me out. So, when you hit the throttle, what happens? The weight transfer, because of the overall, like, when you're spinning the tires and stuff like that, and when you actually get traction, like, your weight is going to the back of the car. That is just how it works with the laws of physics, right? And it doesn't matter if you're in a rear-wheel drive, an all-wheel drive, or a front-wheel drive. it's all the same with weight transfer to the back when you accelerate. So what happens is, with the weight transfer, the most of the weight goes to the back tire, and that's why like a front wheel drive will actually like spin the tires like mad off the line, you know. But then once they actually finally hook, because the weight transfer is stopped, the weight goes back to the front wheels, and then it can finally go. Like, no, exactly. Like, here's the thing. So for the people in the chat who haven't, you know, who haven't been here to see this guy's comments, so he has an EG Civic from '96. Actually, I believe that's EG still. He claims he has a 619 horsepower B series, which is kind of unheard of to make 600 horsepower in a B series, right? And he won't tell me the specs of his build, so then I'm calling him out. You know, that way, right? Like, I don't have a fast car by any stretch. You know, I'm not calling people out to race, but I'm calling them out because, like, what the hell? You know, you should actually talk about your build. Like, I don't understand this secrecy shit that people do. I don't get it. Oh, don't get me wrong. When it comes to, like, handling, it's interesting because, I mean, front-wheel drives, they have an issue with understeering quite a bit, right? Because of the weight transfer to the back tires are going around the turn. But when you're getting into braking and turning in, they have much more traction. You're not wrong. Yeah. Okay, so you're not a tuner. Fair enough. But you should know the build of your vehicle, though. See, I've never heard of a B series making more than about 450, 500 horsepower, so that's why I was a little incredulous about it. But I guess it depends on the overall build, I suppose. Again, I can retract that, to be honest. Like, I will admit when I'm wrong, but yeah. You drove more cars than all these people's cars put together. You know, when people talk like that, here's the thing. There's a thing of being humble. Like, be humble with everything. Because, here's the thing. When it comes to, like, my little Mustang out front of my house right now, that car I took on a track day this year. And of course, like, we're doing, you know, just like, it was like a time trial sort of laps. And I was within 2 seconds of a S197 Mustang with the Coyote in it, and a 2018 WRX, and my 100 wheel horsepower Fox body Mustang. You know? And it was amazing to be able to get that close. And considering I still have the stock exhaust manifold on that car, you know, for the most part, it doesn't have that many mods to make it, like, make that much more horsepower or torque. But it's very interesting. Ooh, a 66 Dart Slant 6. Nice, that's cool. I like that. Again, I am not racing you for pink slips. That's just nuts. Like, no. Why the hell would I do that? Again, I'm gonna lose. My car is slow. It's not built for drag racing. Like, you're trying to say, hey, let's race for pink slips. My very light drag car versus your relatively stock in the grand scheme of things fucking inline 6 Fox body. Like, come on, bud. Oh, there you go. You got these two. This time I fell into you. No interest in owning a Civic? See, now, I'd have interest in, like, owning a Civic, but I actually owned one. Like, I had a first-gen Civic just like this, but it was blue. And it was a 78, so this is a 75. great. I love the banter, you know? Like, you'll never hear me complain when the chat's popping like this. Absolutely not. Ooh, 92 talent. Cool. Ah, good old 4G63. Let's go. But yeah, like, and that's one of these things. Like, I'm not building my car into a drag car. That's not the goals with it. I'm building it into a handling machine. So that's why, like, when a lot of people come in here and want to call me out for a race, I'm going, we can race for fun, but I'm not racing for any money or pink slips because I'm gonna lose. Hey Ryan, you'd be surprised at how many vehicles don't have a tachometer. Like, so my dad has owned 2 trucks, both stick shift that didn't have a tach. The weirdest thing. Like, my dad had a 99 Ram with a 1500, 318, NV3500 5-speed, 355s with a limited slip out back. And that thing didn't have a tach. Then when my dad owned that 95 F-150 for a little while with a 306 and the 5-speed M50D, again, that didn't have a tach either. Wild, right? Exactly. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, if somebody, you know, wants to have fun when it's like a nicer day on the street, sure. But most people are not going to race their car at all when it's cold out. Because they're not going to get traction at all, and it actually can be very dangerous. Where me, I make 100 wheel horsepower. I don't give a fuck. I'll dump the fucking clutch and send it. Ooh, a 77 F-150 with a turbo 466. It'll smash any car. What the? Here's a question. Your F-150, so is that 460 based, or is that like 400, or is that like modified based? See those snow tire rays? Maybe. But again, yeah, like, I'm not betting any money. You know, like, if I have cars in, like, similar brackets to me, or, like, vehicles that I know, like, could be a close race in what I'm doing, sure. I mean, I'd race them, but it's, again, it's going to be more for fun, though. I'm not going to bet money. Not right now. 460 board 30 over. What kind of boost you pushing, just out of curiosity on that? Off the board. Gotta keep my head above water, don't let me drown. It gets harder, I meet you there. At the altar, I'll fall down to my knees. Hey, absolutely. You know what, Ryan? I will race you on a road course, one-on-one between my Mustang and your RX-7, and we'll see who's the better driver. And then we can switch cars and see if who can actually get the better time in each other's cars. I would do that in a fucking heartbeat. That'd be a fun video to do. As long as you're okay with being, like, filmed and shit like that, because there'd be a camera in your car, guaranteed, with a day like that. Above water, don't let me drown. It gets harder, I'll meet you there. Quarter cam, polished crawler crank, Lunati nitrous pistons. It would be. See, now, at least, like, this is the one thing. At least Egypt is actually explaining his build. Best Fisher wouldn't do it. You know? And I like that. I don't understand the secrecy. Like, I'm sorry. Because if it's so secret, then why the hell are you on social media trying to boast about it? You know? But you won't back up your claims as much when it comes to actually, like, talking about your build. It's very weird, you know? Plus, also, I can also tell most people, too, it's just like, hey, you know what? If you want to prove how much power your car makes, come out to one of our dyno days this summer. We'll dyno your car. We'll see how close you are to that actual number that you say it does. because I help run a dyno. So, like, I've got so many dyno sheets on my car, you know, and like I was chasing 100 wheel horsepower, and I finally hit it last year. But now, like, the goal is like, okay, by the end of summer, can I get to like 150? And we'll see. I don't know if I'll get quite that high, but we'll see. Spring-loaded Apex seals? Nice. See, that would be good, Ryan. Like, that's the one thing. I do want to upgrade the suspension on Stitch, because she's still on stock suspension, you know? And that's where, like, because some of the guys at the track were like, you really got a 103 lap time with stock suspension? Like, yeah, I just have subrim connectors. Like, I want to do a strut frame brace, and I want to do, you know, thicker, like, better shocks and better sway bars. For the most part, I wouldn't mind going coilovers, but good coilovers are expensive, but they're expensive for a reason. I don't want some piece of shit coilover that is just gonna ride like absolute ass, no matter how you have it set up. Because I still like to drive my cars, right? Ah, yeah, so you're down in Texas, fair enough. I mean, I get that. But I still offer that to anybody. It's like, hey, come out to one of our dyno days, you know? And it's not expensive. It's $150 for 3 poles. Like, that's cheap, right? Hey, I'm just saying. You know, if people want to actually back up their claim, you know, I will show them on my dyno. Too, right? Hi, Blue. But when it comes to like, so, because our dyno is it's a Dynocom trailer dyno. So we travel all across Alberta and into Saskatchewan with it every single summer. And it's fun. I love doing what I do, right? But, you know, and I'm just waiting for the season. I'm just saying, you know what? Because I'd be curious, like it'd be nice to actually see a high horsepower, you know, Honda on our dyno. We don't see that. The most power I have seen out of any JDM on our dyno, like proper JDM, would have been, that was the Nissan, like the 70s Nissan or Datsun pickup, I should say, with the SR20 in it. And that thing only made it like it was like 320 horsepower, which is still pretty good, but we thought it was going to make more than it did. You know, because like he was talking about us to like he was making 35 pounds of boost and all this different stuff. I'm like, okay. Well, you should be, with that kind of boost, with an SR20, like you should be in the, you know, high 300s to low 400 range, but not the case. I don't know if he was just lying about how much boost he made or what. It's kind of interesting. I better have some good straps? Ha! We ran 2,000 horsepower cars in our dyno. Our straps will be fine for a little puddle jumper like your car. Don't get me wrong, your car's badass, but what I'm saying is 619 horsepower to our straps is nothing. Oh, Spank. He is, yeah, that's K series. He's a B series. A lot harder to make power out of those. You still can, but it's a lot harder to do than a K series. But yeah, I mean, you can see the setup that we do for, you know, any vehicle we run on our dyno. Like, we have a total of 6 straps that we use. And front-wheel drive is a little interesting to strap down because we have to have 4 pulling back and 2 pulling front. So we have to, like with Hondas, because we have like an EG Civic on our dyno, so we typically go to either the K member or the control arm to keep it in place. And then over the rear axle and stuff like that. And it's just weird how you have to like pull them. Oh, I have, yeah. You know, there's some kick-ass racing that happens down there. That's cool. Hey, here's the thing. Actually, Dodges that have blown up their rear ends on their dyno? No. I don't remember Dodge piling up a rear end on our dyno. That's cool. I mean, hey, a turbo big block build on a truck, like especially, you know, if you've lightened it too, oh, it can fuck, I bet. Like, you know, my neighbor's truck, actually, depending on how much power your vehicle's making, judging by that it's turbo and shit like that, you're probably in the 800 to 1,000 horsepower range is my guess, or maybe even higher than that. But his truck, he's a nitrous build, but NA, he's making about 600 horsepower with a Chevy 302 in his square body that is lightened to hell. It's also like quite rusty on the box and shit like that too. But you know, he thinks it's like he hasn't put it on the scales, but he thinks it's in the realm of about 3,000, 3,200 pounds or so. Like the thing is light. I've driven it and it's fun. That's a 700 R4 as well that's built out in that thing, and it freaking rips. It's fun. And you're at 860, so okay, yeah. Just out of curiosity, Egypt, how much boost are you pushing down with the turbo? Because I can roughly guess, but I'm just curious. Hey, good night there, Kevin. Hope you have a fantastic sleep, and I'll catch you soon, bud. Peace out, man. Okay, 8 to 13 pounds. Okay. Okay, so that actually, the way you have that built, it doesn't need that much boost. Actually, that's okay to make it actually cool. So that'd be a between 8 to 13 pounds to make 860. You'd be without boost. You'd be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6 or so, 650 maybe. Pretty damn good. I mean, not that you're NA, obviously, but I'm just thinking of it before boost, right? Before the boost kicks in. Hey, I mean, I like Hellcats, but admittedly, are they the fastest cars around? No. Anybody that builds a vehicle can smoke a Hellcat. That's, it's not a high barometer that way, but hey, there are some minivans that absolutely rip. Fun fact, did you know that one of the fastest minivans ever produced, like from the factory, was back in the 80s, and it was a Dodge Caravan with the 2.2 turbo and a 5-speed? You can go over 150 mile an hour in that damn thing. It's kind of scary, actually, to do that in a minivan, but hey, especially in the 80s. Oh yeah, I mean, with billet, you can make any motor make any kind of power you realistically want, just depending on how thick you make the billet, And yes, that is in a Caravan. Like, this would be like 1980, like 84, 85. 2.2 turbo, 5-speed. they had the gearing and the power, because they made right around 160 or so horsepower, but they weighed like 2,800 pounds. And they had the gearing to go over 150 miles an hour. Just insane. Here's the thing, I'd almost prefer if people were driving minivans over SUVs, genuinely. Genuinely. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing so many SUVs around. And realistically, what's more practical between a minivan or an SUV? Minivan's far more practical, and they're cheaper too. But yeah, I mean, and that's the one thing, like in the Honda world, there are some insane Hondas built, you know? Like the fastest, Honda in the world does like, if I remember correctly, it's like into the 5 or 6 second quarter mile range, something like that. It's just fucking insane. But wait, Ryan, wait, what are you talking about? Is it 6.9? Okay. I couldn't remember exactly because I know like for some reason I thought there was like one that did like 585, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I might be thinking of a different car. Did that, but still, like that's amazing that somebody's made a Honda Power do that in a front wheel drive. You know, insane, insane. But like, and it's so funny to watch them go because like they'll launch it and they'll do like 3 gear changes and then they'll finally hook and it's just wow, insane. That's not overly shocking, but oh, for a hatch. See, I think it's 585 for. I think it was an Integra that did it. I want to say. I could be wrong on that, but I think it is. I don't know. Hang on, I got a phone here. Let me look at it. Let's just go. Hang on. Fastest front wheel drive Honda quarter mile. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, James Kemp's 2,000 horsepower all-wheel drive B-Series Civic holds the record for the fastest H-pattern 4-cylinder car in the world, running a 691 at 198 mile an hour. Okay, so you're right. But it's not actually, that's all-wheel drive, though. Interesting. And it is B-Series, but that's billet, so. Yeah, and I guess... Oh, the other one I was thinking of was a 1,500 horsepower all-wheel drive Integra that ran 7.7s. Oh yeah, they are 4-baggers. Like, again, Honda motors are insane, and like for the high horsepower stuff, it seems like more people are using the B series. I didn't realize that, but they're also using like billet freaking blocks to do that kind of power though. They're not using iron blocks for that. But it's just insane to see that shit, right? Well, and here's the thing. So, like I have a friend of mine that she runs a alcohol funny car, right? She wants to get into nitro, but she can't afford it. Which I understand that nitro is very expensive. So, and the maintenance with nitro is a lot more than it is when running an alcohol dragster, you know. But and like I love her, she's freaking fantastic. That's why when somebody like is beaking in the chat, when she jumps in, they kind of pipe down because yeah, she'll beat them usually because she's in a full on funny car. And that's why, like, you should be humble more so because there's always somebody that's faster than you, right? It doesn't matter if you're driving a 2,000 horsepower car or a 500 horsepower car. There is always somebody that's going to be faster than you, no matter what, right? Yeah, I played with Nitro RC cars when I was younger. I never owned any myself, but like had friends that had them, and those ones were just freaking amazing. Oh yeah, the margin of error is a lot more with that, but it's no different than like running nitrous or even running propane injection or anything like that as well. They all can be very volatile if you're not careful. You're no fun, Ryan. Oh, 100%. Like, I know people, as an example, you can see it all the time. You can look at Nürburgring videos where you see a Miata smoking a Porsche GT3 because it's a much better driver, behind the wheel of that Miata over that Porsche. You're no fun, Ryan. Like that's the best. And then you can like film it and put it on YouTube and be like a public nuisance and everybody hates you. Oh, trust me. Like yeah, nitro is like the most for a bomb, but you know what can also make a bomb, but also make a shitload of power? Have you ever heard of a guy named Smokey Eunuch? Uh, I just need to get my information correct on this, but he made an insane build of I believe it was a Corvair. Um, no. Um, yeah, there we go. Um, because I'm just trying to remember what he did. I thought it was a Corvair. But he did such incredible things. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was a Corvair. Like, so basically what he did was he took six in that and he leaned it out completely, but then he superheated the intake as well, causing this thing to make like I think it was about 400 horsepower, which is insane for that freaking thing. Turbo. Maybe it was the Vega. There we go. Hey, no worries, Ryan. See you later. Here's the thing. An LS head doesn't fit on my engine. Yes, somebody got one, like an LS head, like a couple of LS heads that they chopped up to make work on a 306, but a 306 is entirely different than a 200. A 200 is a lot smaller. Like, I actually did a video on here explaining the differences in overall size of a 200 compared to a 300. And a 300, like, lengthwise, is like an extra 16 inches long. Something like that? Well, I appreciate that. You know, that's the thing. I do this all the time. Like, I go live like this and we chat cars and stuff like that, but not only that, but, like, my YouTube channel is all about cars. Like, you'll see videos on here of, like, I cater to just about everything. You know, car reviews, junkyard tours, videos of, like, track days. I do videos of, car shows. I do dyno videos, all that different stuff. But no worries, Best Fisher. Appreciate you coming out, and take care, dude. Why can't I find the specs of this damn thing? I shall. Thank you. You as well. Where the hell is the information on this? Let's see. Where? I don't. See, this still doesn't show me how much power it made, but like he extracted, it was like 354 horse, something like that, out of that little four banger and a Corvair, or not Corvair, sorry, the Vega. But no, the 300 only came in full size trucks. Whether it was the Ford F Series or the Ford E Series vans, those are the only vehicles that had a Ford 300 in them. The Rangers never even got an inline six. Actually, they were V6 only or four banger. And the Ford Granada. No, not the 300. Granadas would have had 200s. Hi, Zach. How's it going? Oh, hang on. I see somebody that is typing in a language that I do not know. I need my translate up. Come on. Oh, peace be upon you. Okay. Hi. It means hi? Fair enough. How's it going? Hey, I always want to make sure I know what people are talking about, but you never know. Especially like when it's a language you don't know, it's just like, hey, Google Translate. What did they say? Fat cat. But yeah, and like so, you'll find like the Ford 200 series of engines. So like not all the Ford 200, like But okay, sorry, brain's not working here. Let me reset. So the Ford Falcon 6, as they call it, which encompasses the 144, the 170, the 200, and the 250, you'll find that in much more models as opposed to the 240 or the 300, which is the Ford Big Six, which is put in trucks and vans only. But then also, like, you can find Ford 306s in, like, equipment at airports. So, like, airport tugs, as an example. Not unheard of to see a Ford 306 under their hoods. Coincidentally, baggage handlers could also have Ford 200s in them. Because it was light duty. But yeah, and you know, like, I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with, like, the head on my car, as an example. Like, am I going to swap it? And if so, what do I go with? Because, like, I'm not going with an American head, to be honest, in that car. If I was going to swap to something, it'd either be an Aussie 250 head, a Brazilian 221, or an Argentinian I think it's 231, I think? Head. I'm just not sure. What all did the Cleveland motors come in? Ooh, that's a good question, actually. So the Cleveland wasn't actually made for that long, at least in North America. In Australia, they made them for a lot longer. But over here, the Cleveland was really only available from about I think it was 1969 or 1970 until about 1975. And then afterwards, it got replaced by the AB motors, aka the modified engines. But the Cleveland, you can get in Mustangs, Torinos. You could get them in, like, Ford LTDs, Galaxies, that sort of thing. But beyond that, there wasn't a lot that the Cleveland was put into. Like, Cleveland's, I don't believe, came in trucks. I think those only got either the Windsor FE or 385 series. And then of course, the Ford Straight Six too. But yeah, I don't know all the vehicles that the Cleveland actually came in, to be honest, off the top of my head. Like, never came in the Maverick, never came in the Pinto, obviously. Never came in the Mustang 2. Yeah, it wasn't that. Like I said, they didn't make the motor for very long, so. But Clevelands are weird though too, because Clevelands are, they're not exactly a big powerhouse of an engine, but they will make torque, and that's kind of their thing. They're they're more akin to a diesel that way as opposed to a gas motor. But of course, you know, there's still a gas engine. And, like, if you happen to get one of the really rare 4-barrel Cleveland motors, so those things actually had an insane amount of torque with really good horsepower too. Like, and the ports on, like, your average 351 Windsor, you know, were like, they were pretty good. You know, they were like that. But on a Cleveland, like with a 4-barrel, they're like that. They're huge ports, like giant freaking things. And you know, it's no different than, like, a lot of the Cobra jets and stuff like that, right? So it's pretty interesting though. And I like those weird and different engines. Okay, Saber, what do you want, sir? Like, just come here. You left me, but I don't know why. And now you're just being weird, eh? You are a weirdo. Because I could actually look up what the 321 Cleveland came in. Because, like, what's interesting though is that Australia actually made a 302 Cleveland as well. But let's just see, 351 Cleveland. There we go. It was made from 69 to 74. There you go. So I was 1 year off. That way. Cool, I have a tooth gap. Congratulations, you noticed that. How does that make you feel by talking about it there, Brazen? Like, cool, I have a tooth gap. I don't give a flying fuck. Yeah, I wasn't too far off with that. And, cause let's see. Let's see. Like, what were they put in? Oh, is it not going to tell me on here? Nope, they're not. That's okay. I love that they say, but damn, LOL. What, that I'm not offended by your piss poor attempt at bullying? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Could you get any horses out of a 300? Oh, yeah. I mean, people have built, you know, like 500 horsepower turbo 300s. They do exist. But out of the factory, they were kind of not that. Like, Ford 300s, and it's a weird thing with the Ford 300, though, is that... Sorry. A Ford 300, there is a weird thing with those engines because you could have two identical models and like made like even a week from each other with a Ford 300 in it. And yet you can have a Ford 300 that made a lot more power for some reason, but had really shitty fuel economy. And then you can get 300s that were pretty much a dog, but got really good fuel economy. And there was no rhyme or reason between it. Like, the only thing that I can come up with is that they were timed incorrectly from the factory, and the ones that were faster had better cam timing on them versus the slower ones. It's the only thing I can come up with. Because also, like, the Ford 300s all have timing gears instead of timing chains. So... And that's one of the reasons why, like, a Ford 300 is, like, such a stout engine. It's because of those timing gears. Although, the modern, like, the last iteration of the 300s, they're not quite as good as the earlier iterations because they had nylon gears on the timing gears. So, and that was a problem that plagued factory 302s and stuff like that, is having nylon gears on timing chains and stuff. It was kind of a dumb design, but it was Ford's way of cost saving at the time. And, you know, a lot of guys will just swap that shit out for aftermarket stuff, but it makes it a lot better. But actually, I think, though, I'm going to head out here. The live is kind of dying at this point, but that's okay. I mean, we did go for an hour and a half, and it is 1 a.m., so... Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. I won't give up.